Hi, welcome to Catholic Nest. So this morning I wanted to share a resource that has been quite helpful in the learning to read journey for some of my children. So that is homemade games. Some of them are from PDFs that were printed and laminated myself, and some are just that I've made myself, seen a need and made something to address it. So I keep them all in this box with these plastic A4 folders and these A4 Ziplocs. Some are a bit smaller too. So I'll show you some of the more interesting ones. So one thing I used to do was create little word hunts or sound hunts around the house. So I use these particularly with my boys who are now 10 and 11, but when they were much younger and learning to read, particularly my 10-year-old, he's a very visual, hands-on kind of kinesthetic type of learner, and he found it really hard to sit at the table. So I created lots of kind of games to try and get him to be interested in reading and kind of enjoying the journey a bit more. So that they did help and they did play their part in his reading journey. So some of the things I used were the foam shapes from Poundland. So these were some dinosaur ones. And then I would print off words that I wanted him to practice and just stick them on. Then I'd hide the dinosaurs around the house and he'd have to go around and find them, a bit like an Easter egg hunt, so that'd be quite exciting. So then if he could read the word on the dinosaur, he got to put it in his basket or whatever and keep it. If he didn't get it right, he'd put it back and come back to it in a minute. So another thing we did was stepping stones. So I brought some silver plates and printed some words off. I think these were from Twinkle, and I just cut them out and stuck them on. And then we'd kind of do like a jumping stepping stones across the lounge. So put a word down, if you got it right, he'd stand on it. And if you put another word down, if you got it right, he could jump onto that stepping stone to try and get somewhere. If you didn't get it right, I'd put it to the bottom of the pile and come back to it in a minute. So that was quite fun and active. So I made a couple of fishing games. So I printed off some octopuses from Twinkle. I think they're for the display boards that they have them on there for. Just cut out some words that I printed off, stuck them on, laminated them and bought some magnetic tape and just stuck little bits on. I did have a bit of a magnet on the end of this string on this stick as the wand. That's very well used and I think it's fallen off. Then for this one I had a wand from an old game, and then I did the same thing, but these were fish this time and the words were a little harder. So this is really one of the most used ones and the simplest to make. So I literally just drew on the double sounds, different sounds for phonics, and then just hole punch them and put string on them. And I just hang them around a few rooms of the house. Same rule again, they'd have to go around, see which ones they could read and bring me back the ones they could read, and then we'd practice the ones that they found a bit harder. I wouldn't put them all out all the time. I'd usually have like a little stack they were working on. So again, from the Twinkle displays, I printed off these monster feet for number recognition and number ordering. The idea was these was really the stepping stone thing again, to hop from footprint to footprint. I got it right. So I made these little carrots myself, just with orange card, word lists I'd made myself on the computer, and then laminated them. So I was going to use these in sensory bins, like in a pot of black rice or something like that. So it was like soil, and just have the tops poking out and then pick one and read it. And if they got it right, they'd get to harvest it in their basket, and if they got it wrong, they'd replant it. It was quite fun. I made it a lot more interesting for them. This was a popular one. So I saw a game like this on Amazon and thought, well, that's easy enough to recreate for a fraction of the price. So I bought one of these retractable fly sweaters. It was from Amazon, but you can probably get them on eBay as well now. And I just made flies with black card and white paper, and these little hole reinforcement stickers for eyes, and then just printed off my own words again, stuck them on. The idea was if they could read the word on the fly, they got to swat it, which was great fun. And always an appealing one for the boys. As we're starting to read more kind of sentences and stuff, I made these. Just card, Velcro dots, brilliant for sticky Velcro dots for making your own games and things. And I just printed off some sentences online with a dice, and they'd roll the dice, and whatever number they got, they'd pick. Oh, it's come off this one. Whatever number they got, they'd pick one of the pieces of card with a number on, and that's the sentence they'd read. So I actually thought this was one of the more dull games, but they actually quite enjoyed it. So these were some, I didn't get to use all of these. I think they had a breakthrough in reading, but I've kept them just in case any of the younger ones will. So I just made loads of random things, bananas and whales, just practicing the different sounds and the different word categories, trying to squeeze more and more words into the games as we went on, so practicing all the different sounds here, so I could use them in different sensory bins and different hunts. So I made more of the roll and read game using the different sounds. And then there was a post box game with letters. So I'd stand this up and they'd post them through if they got them right. So loads of scope for whatever your child is into, and just trying to make some of the resources yourself. Homemade can get expensive if you're buying your own resources and hobby groups and things like that. So where we can cut costs, it does help. And the bonus of it is whatever your child's into, you could make it. If they were into a certain cartoon, you could print off pictures from online and make that into a game. So there's lots of scope for making it really kind of personal to what might appeal to them. And I think if you do have a struggling reader, you do start to panic a little bit, and you tend to buy more resources and stuff like that. So there is ways that you can kind of curb the cost. I think it all helps. So there's loads of ones we've printed off from Twinkle as well. Different alphabet matching games. It's really a great resource. So match the first letter of the to the alphabet. Posting the fish through the penguin's mouth. I also made a couple of file folder games from, where are we? Tina's Teacher Tidbits and Teacher's Planet. Oh, Teacher Pay Teacher is another great resource. So this was a times table game where they have to match the answer to there. This was a multiplication game, again Velcro dots. And a pizza number matching game, like that. So anything like this that we use, I just hang on to just in case. Oh, there's some more words, more fly words here I printed off Twinkle. And then there's a time matching game. I put it together like this. I think it's just designed to be loose parts, but I stuck it on paper, and you stick the right time on there. I also printed these insect words off Twinkle to hide around the garden, to make it a bit different from just running around the house looking for the bits. They could hunt the insects in the garden to read. And then we've got loads of bingos, shapes, money, all from different resources online. So another thing that I made with the boys when they were little were some different kind of posters. Again, trying to practice daily different words. I just did some blue card with some little green plants at the bottom to be like the ocean, and then again made little fish with them things on. They could stick them to the ocean when they got them right. I made one with 4 pieces of black A4 laminated, and then just taped them on the back. That means it could fold away small. So this was a space one with just stars and Velcro dots, and then I made little rockets with words on, and they'd have to kind of fly them into space and stick them on. and we'd have it on the wall in the lounge, and they'd just practice them every day. And they got to stick on the ones that they knew, and the other ones just stayed in the folder for the following day. And there's one more I made, which is a tree. We can open it. Which is 2 A3 pieces. So they're nothing amazing, they're literally just thrown together and just laminate what I can so I can reuse it, and Velcro dots. Then I made little leaves. I made little leaves with words on to stick on. So then I'd slowly build a full tree of words. So there's loads of resources you can make when you think about it, or something that might be useful for one child and isn't for another, to save spending money. So I haven't actually used these with my girls yet. My now 7-year-old pretty much taught herself to read. She's very motivated and studious. But my 5-year-old is, I think she's going to need the games. I think she's a little bit more hands-on and a bit more full of energy, and not as inclined to sit. So I'm glad I hung on to them. I think they'll still get some more use yet. So that's just some of our homemade games. We've got loads of different laminate ones you can get offline. I don't think it would be that interesting to show. But we found them a good resource over the years, and I think it does, like I say, it does help just to keep the costs down. So I hope that's been useful. Thank you for watching. Please do consider subscribing.